Bang, bang, Nana gang. How are we doing? We are finally live here. Post game reactions, whatever you want to call it. It's a little late here, but hey, it is what it is. It was a fun day. The 49ers are your NFC West champions for the second year in a row. Love it. But you know what? What Dre Greenlaw said tonight was absolutely 100% correct. Like, we're tired of these shirts. He said he's tired of being the NFC West champs and he wants a Super Bowl shirt. I love the mentality. This team has a Super Bowl mentality, and that's what they want. Like, it's nice to be the NFC West champs. It's cool, but I feel like that's expected, right? Fred Warner said, like, that's the standard. That's what you should expect. You should expect to be the Super Bowl champs and be, playing at a level where you're every year going out to be the NFC West champs. Like that's the standard. You want to win. You set the winning standard. And now the next step is try to get to be the Super Bowl champions. An incredible day. The vibes were amazing. Arizona was fun. I'm still out here in Arizona. I leave tomorrow to go back to San Jose, but it was just an amazing feeling out here. It felt like a home game, and this team fought hard. You got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit. So we'll talk all about it tonight. But yeah, shout out to everybody hopping in here. I know it's a little late, but wanted to come live and do a little, live stream for you. So I'm gonna play a little 30-second countdown. Let everybody come in, and we'll get right to it. So here's just a quick little 30-second countdown. What is going on, Niner fans? Ted Beats says, let's go. Don, what's up? Victor says the vibes were amazing. They still are. Max says, if you don't think MVP, Purdy's the MVP, you don't know ball. What a bar. Um, Nate Burleson said that today. He says, if you don't think Brock Purdy is the leading MVP candidate, you don't know ball. And I think he's right. I mean, obviously, we're Niner fans, but it's crazy, man. Like Victor says, I don't know how people still hate on the man. Look, Brock Purdy is killing it. Let's check it out. Last pick in the NFL draft. He's beaten Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, and Kyler Murray, all number one picks in the NFL draft. Today, 16 for 25, 242 yards, 4 touchdowns, 135.3 passer rating, 0 interceptions, and a dub. Brock Purdy NFL ranks this season. Passer rating first, pass TD first, pass TD interception first, pass TD attempt first, yards per attempt first, yards per completion first, wins first. This man is number one in everything. Most games this season with 4+ pass TD and 0 interceptions. Brock Purdy, number one with 3. It's just the man is unbelievable, man. He's incredible. He's doing great things. I know he has a great team around him, but just Brock Purdy he's been fun, man. Fun to watch. He's elevated this team. The tight window throws, the anticipation throws. Ah, man. And Max says that people forget this is really Brock Purdy's first real or full season. It's his first full season, guys. He is playing at such a high clip, man. And I know he has good players, but he's facilitating the ball. Some of those throws were just amazing to see. The pass to Deebo Samuel. I mean, corner of the end zone. You couldn't throw a better ball. Tight window pass to, Chris McCaffrey. He's pushing the ball down the field. They're not afraid to take deep shots. There were so many times where they took deep shots. Like, sometimes he missed, but he was hitting them. And I was like, man, this offense is so fun. They're hitting it deep. They're getting the intermediate plays. They get the yak plays. They got Chris McCaffrey running through the tackles. And the offensive line was balling, man. They gave him protection. He was creating. He scrambled a little bit. And off script, Brock Purdy, man, he did the damn thing. So MVP, Yo, Victor says when Purdy went out, I was damn near going to cry. Let's talk about that. So this is how much this fan base loves Brock Purdy. Like, he is revered. Everybody loves this guy. He's incredible, man. When he went down for a minute, like, it was traumatic. Because how many times have we seen a quarterback go down and we're like, oh my God, like the wind was knocked out of the sails of the crowd. Like I just remember going, is Brock gonna be okay? Is he gonna be okay? He goes down. Then he gets up. He goes to the medical tent, and we were just like, oh my God. Everybody in the stadium was just so stressed out, man. And then he comes back and he leads them down for a touchdown. And it's just like, okay, he's okay. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some updates tomorrow about injuries and things like that. But man, he dodged a bullet. We need Brock, and that's the thing. If Brock Purdy was not 100%, right? If he were to miss games, the Niners aren't going to be winning games like they are, and that's why he's the MVP. And I no disrespect to Chris McCaffrey, he's amazing. He should be offensive player of the year. And today Brock Purdy says Christian McCaffrey's the MVP, and I respect the hell out of him. But man, oh man, Christian McCaffrey, he's great. 20 touchdowns in this league, and he paces the offense. And I love what Purdy said. He says, I hand off the ball and he does the rest. I just turn around and watch him run down the field. And I love that, man. This team is so humble. They love each other. They're like the Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. And they give each other props. They're not a team that has egos. They're unselfish. They want each other to succeed. They want each other to win so they can win the Super Bowl championship. So you got to love the team. The vibes are immaculate. Just one of those teams that you're like, man, there's all class acts. And that was a very humble thing for Brock to say. He's like, dude, I'm not the MVP. It's Christian McCaffrey. So, but CMC, he definitely makes the case. You take him away from this offense, and it's not the same. But you could say the same for Deebo Samuel, right? Can't you? Deebo's the catalyst. He kind of gets things rolling. You put the ball in Deebo's hands, man, and good things happen. Deebo's been playing great too. I got to give Deebo a shout out. The man has 7 touchdowns in 3 games. He's been so good. He talked about it this offseason. He said, when I looked at my film from last year, I was disappointed in myself. I said, I got to work better. I got to work harder. I got to put myself in better shape. And he's done that. And Deebo has been just kicking some tail, man. And I love that because, I love Deebo and I love to see him succeed. Big fan of my page. He's one of, I'm his biggest fan, in terms of, 49 fans. Like, I feel like Deebo's a guy that I've supported from before he was on the Niners. I remember seeing him, his combine stuff, and I was like, this is the guy. Niners got to get him. And, I'm glad they did. He's like the heart and soul, So Deebo, man, out there doing the damn thing. He's incredible. And just so many good players on this team. Oh, man. Yeah, Deebo does look back to Deebo. He looks back to his old vintage self. So good stuff. Yeah. Seabass says, remember when Mahomes won his MVP with a bunch of scrubs? That's the real MVP. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's the thing. Every MVP has talent, has great players around them. Like good quarterbacks are always going to be surrounded by good players, good wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. Good teams have good players. Like I just never get the argument of, oh, well, he's got too many good players around him. That's what a good team does. A Super Bowl team has the best players on their roster. A Super Bowl team has like good coaches, has good defense, has good offense. Everybody just wants to find ways to bring Brock down. He's the last pick in the draft. Last pick in the draft has beaten Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford. Like he is doing it, man. So he definitely is killing it. And Dak Prescott today, he was supposed to be the MVP front runner with Brock Purdy. Oh, it's Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy. Dak Prescott laid an egg. They lost to the Bills. He had an interception, 0 touch. He didn't do anything to elevate his team. He didn't do anything. Brock Purdy, 4 touchdowns, man. 4 touchdowns. I knew he was going to have a big game, homecoming game, and he did, man. He had a phenomenal game. Just looked like the offense was humming. It wasn't an easy game. Like you could look at the score and say, wow, the Niners put up 43, but it wasn't an easy game. But they did put up over 40 points. It's amazing to see this team consistently putting 30 to 40 points up on a weekly basis. This offense is absolutely a juggernaut, man. But the Cardinals did play tough. This was a game where they, played for pride. They just weren't going to lay down. NFC West, they're going to say, go earn it. You want to win the NFC West? Earn it from us. And that's what they did, man. They went out there, they played their ass off, and they tried to make the Niners earn that victory. And the 49ers earned that victory today. So you got to give the Cardinals credit. They're gritty, they're very competitive, and they played their ass off. So hats off to Cardinals, man. They played tough. They're not a winning team. Well, they got 3 wins this season, but they made it a fun one. It was definitely a tense game for most of the time. They fought hard, and I think the biggest issue of this game was that the 49ers just couldn't stop the run. They had a tough time between the tackles and stopping those guys. You could see Kinlaw and Clea Davis, they struggled to get the run defense going, and Fred Warner was missing some tackles. This is not the most Fred Warner type game, but they'll fix it up. I think losing Armstead and Hargrave was a big loss this week, and I think they'll be able to fix that up next week. Hopefully, they return. They're going to need those guys because Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are coming to town, and that's not going to be an easy game. These are the top 2 teams in the NFL, and they go toe to toe on Christmas. Man, somebody's going to be leaving upset for the holidays. So hopefully, it's not the Niners. 6 straight wins for the Niners, though, man. Ariel says it's all hate and envy from these people tearing Brock down. It's like they say, you'd love him if he was on your team. You hate him if he's not. Absolutely. It's jealousy. It's envy. People are despicable, Ariel. And unfortunately, the 49ers are a team that, are hated in the media. They're hated by a lot of people. So it is what it is, man. At the 49ers, we just know what we have, and we have to keep it moving. We have to keep it rolling. So you can't let the haters, dictate your mental. And Brock knows it. He just moves on every week. They ask him, and he says, "Hey, I'm just here to play quarterback. I'm just here to do my thing. I'm going to move on." And it's great to see a young quarterback just doing great. He's close to making franchise records, man. He's close to having the most passing yards in franchise history. Brock Purdy's going to be he's going to have the most passing yards in franchise history when it's all said and done this year. Like, he's closing in on that. It's amazing when you watch his game, when you see the stats and you realize in his second year, he's going to be setting records on the 49ers. Like, they've had Joe Montana. They've had Steve Young on this team. Hall of Fame legendary quarterbacks. And Brock Purdy is going to be putting his name in the record books. Like, it's not a fluke, guys. He's not terrible. He's great. I get it. He has great players on his team. But guess what? You have to facilitate the ball and get the ball to them. So Don says everyone is very jealous of us. I agree. My man Raul, what's up? He says Mooney, top 5 this year. I don't care. I got time today. Yo, shout out to Mooney Ward. Shout out to Mooney Ward. He said earlier this week in the podcast, Ark Armstead's podcast, he literally stood on business. This man, Mooney Ward, goes on the podcast and he says, I am a top 3 to 5 cornerback right now. He says, if I turn those PBUs into INTs, I am number 1. All he had to do was turn those pass breakups into interceptions. And he did that today, 2 of them. Pick 6, the man was running like he stole something from the police. Oh, my God, that pick 6 was amazing. And he had 2 interceptions. He manifested that. To go out there and say, if I could turn those PBUs into interceptions, and you go out there and do it, the same week you said it, put some respect on Mooney Ward, man. Put some respect on Mooney Ward, man. My man Raul says, if Mooney ain't all pro, I'm going to lose my mind. Me too, man. Like, it is so nice to have a good secondary. Guys, how many times have I sat here in front of this screen live for years? You guys have followed me for years. How many times have I sat here and said, please get us a cornerback. Please get us a quarterback. Please draft cornerbacks. Please put emphasis on quarterbacks. They finally have over the last couple of years. Mooney Ward, big free agent signing. The younger players are developing. Ambry, Lenore. Players are so good in the secondary. Obviously, the D-line is a big part of it, but this defensive line is helping the secondary, and the secondary is playing so good, guys. I love it. I love to see the secondary shining. And Mooney Ward is playing at an all-pro level. Absolutely. He leads the NFL in PBUs. He's got interceptions now. You turn those PBUs into interceptions, everybody's going to talk about him like freaking the guy from the Cowboys, Darryl Bland, So it's fun, man. Yeah. Max says defense was the reason we went to the Super Bowl back in 2019. Man, Victor says Jimmy G was holding us back from a lot of Super Bowls. I'm not going to disagree with that. We all seen it. We all see what Brock's doing, man. Imagine if we could drop 40 points on a team, 30 points on a team. Who's beating the Niners in the Super Bowl? If they had this offense against the Chiefs, Niners win. there's no way the Chiefs come back. The Niners would have had too big of a lead. Niners don't lose to the Chiefs. There's this. It's just fun to watch this team, man. Mooney Ward, got to give him his flowers again. Run defense was kind of stagnant today, so that's an area they got to improve upon. I feel like the offensive line was really good today. Hey, we're blocking it out. Trent Williams, man, he was crushing today. Trent Williams, man, that guy's amazing. I don't know what they're gonna do without Trent. Kyle Juszczyk, great. I mean, the blocking today is A1. John Feliciano, man, I feel like he's just been a great player, a great addition to this team. I'm happy that they drafted or signed him in free agency. Feliciano's been nice because they've had some injuries with Burford and Banks, and this guy's a starter, and he's come in and he's playing a very good football for the 49ers. His blocking's great. I like Feliciano. He was a underrated signing this offseason. I mean, John Lynch, man. John Lynch. This man did so many great things for this team over the last couple of years, but these last 2 years specifically, he has been in his bag. You go get CMC, you go get Randy Gregory, you go get Chase Young, you go get John Feliciano. Like, underrated signing right there. Doing what it takes, man. They're getting free agents. If someone goes down, they go get a free agent. It's been nice, man. It's been absolutely nice to see, what John Lynch has been able to cultivate. So, yeah, Feliciano plays center. He's very versatile. Raul says this has to be the year. Has to be the year, man. Everybody's saying it. It feels like this is the year. My man Ariel says, I still remember when we were secondary and QB starved, and now we're spoiled in both categories. Knock on wood that it stays like that, because you're right. Secondary was an area where I was like, oh my God, this team needs to go and draft every single corner in the draft. And quarterback, we're not even going to talk about it. But you're right. Oh, man. My man Greedy Greg, he says, my guy, we put ourselves in a good position. We put ourselves in the best position you could be. The 49ers at this point went out number one seed. That's it. Control their destiny. Hopefully we get a little help from our enemies from, the Emerald City out there in Seattle, and they can beat the Eagles. But I don't know. The Seattle Seahawks have beat the Eagles for the last 15 years. They haven't lost to the Eagles in 15 years. Whenever I see a stat like that, it's a bad omen. I feel like that's, I don't know, because they keep on bringing the stat up. I saw Bleacher Report post. I seen a couple other people talk about it. When a team hasn't beat a team in 15 years, they're going to snap that streak. I don't know. I feel like the Eagles are going to win this game tomorrow, but I hope that the Seahawks can pull it off, man. Oh, man. Real Teal says, I'm happy for Mooney Ward. Me too, man. I'm happy for that guy. He's been such a great player for this team. He said he was smiling when he got the pick six, like he was on cloud nine. After the game, he's wearing the Hufunga beard, the beads, man. Like, come on, man. Mooney's a good dude. Seahawks need to win or they're done. Yeah, give Mooney his flowers, baby. Give Mooney Ward his flowers, says Jocelyn. Absolutely. Give him his flowers, man. Raul says, you think we're going to extend Ward again? I hope so. I hope they do. I think he's really putting himself into becoming one of the top corners in the league. Give him another 2 or 3 years, man. He's definitely a great player. And, yeah, like you said, Real Teal, he's a class act, man. I mean, he's shut down some good receivers these last couple of weeks, man. DK, AJ Brown. Shut him down, man. You love it. Greg is not going to lie. When Purdy went down, my heart stopped. I think that was all of us. We talked about that, man. It was like silent in the stadium when he was down. I was like, is that Purdy? Oh, my God, is that Purdy? And nobody wanted to say nothing. I was like, shit, that better not be Purdy. When he got up, went to the medical tent, everybody's like, is he good? Is he good? But he definitely got up and came back and was able to finish the game strong. And, he threw a touchdown right when he came back. And, it's going well when you drop over 40 points on a team and you get the backup quarterback. When I saw it was Sam Darnold time, and not for a bad reason, man, I was so happy today. I was like, man, when the 49ers, like this year, it's crazy. When they're winning the way they're winning, and then you see Sam Darnold, it's so nice to see Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see Sam Darnold in the first quarter, or whatever in a competitive game. But when it gets to the point at the game now, when I see Sam Darnold taking snaps, I'm like, oh, what a game. I actually like seeing Sam Darnold because it means the Niners cooked the team and Brock's taking a rest and it's over and the game over. Like, I am happy when I see Sam Darnold on the field in the fourth quarter. I should specifically add, in the fourth quarter of a big blowout game, when I see Sam Darnold, it's one of my favorite moments of the game. I'm like, oh, game's over. Niners won. Brock Purdy crushed. Brock Purdy crushed. So, oh man, that catch by Kittle, says Flood. One-handed, bro. That was crazy. The focus. That was nice, yeah. Jocelyn, NFC West Champions. I can't explain how much I love this team. We all love this team. It's incredible. This team is so special. They got a squad full of dogs. They got, humble players. It's just great, and we all love them. This team is amazing, and no team deserves more than the Niners. They've been fighting every year, tooth and nail. This hopefully is the year they put it all together. Just look at this. Like today, one of my favorite moments. So you had Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey. They come out together. They came out together at the press conference, and Christian McCaffrey says, "Yeah, we're robbing big." Like, come on, like the chemistry is amazing. You have Brock Purdy say, Christian McCaffrey should be MVP, right? And then it's just, I don't know, man, just so many good stuff. Watching this team win today, and being there live was fun, and just seeing the whole situation play out. And, oh man, I'm tired, but it was definitely worth it. We dogs in the league, says Low. Absolutely, Low. We are dogs in the league, man. This team is the top dog in the NFL, man. It's fun. And again, just seeing everybody today at the stadium, there's so many Niner fans in Arizona, and everybody was hyped up. They were happy, and Niner fans, we're blessed this year. We're blessed every year, but this year specifically, it's a vibe, man. It's just the team is doing great. Everything's going in the right direction. I love it. I love what I'm seeing right now. So, 49er fever says, how am I feeling about the Ravens game? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's going to be the hardest game of the season. That's the one game, make or break it. If the 49ers win that game, they're going to be the number one seed. Bottom line, unless they crap the bed in the next couple of weeks after that. But it's not going to be easy. Lamar Jackson, this team has some stars on the offense. They got a good old line. They got a good coach. Great defense. It's not going to be an easy game. This is the top two teams in the NFL now. And thankfully, it's in Levi's. It's an advantage for the Niners. Baltimore has to travel. But, Lamar Jackson, man, he's tough. And the 49ers today had a hard time stopping the run, man. They had a hard time stopping the run. But also, you got to remember, no Hargrave, no Armstead. But, yeah, man, Lamar Jackson right now is probably MVP candidate number 2, right behind Brock Purdy. Like, this, to me, is going to determine MVP, right? Brock Purdy, he beat Dak one-on-one. He beat Jalen Hurts head-to-head. Now you got Lamar Jackson. If Brock Purdy beats Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson in the same season, he's got to be the MVP. So, Ted says the Ravens played like ass today. They got hurt. Yeah, they didn't have their best game, but, at the end of the day, they still got a really good team, a really good coach. They got a great quarterback. And, Lamar's dangerous. The thing about Lamar, this offseason, he took a lot of scrutiny because he signed his own contract. He was his own agent, trying to get his own contract and this and that. And people are like, he's not going to get paid. He got his money, and he's been playing great football. And, out of all the quarterbacks that got paid high this offseason, Lamar's the one. He was the one that actually has kind of panned out and done the best. So I got respect for Lamar, man. My man Lowe says, I'm not worried about the Ravens without Mark Andrews. Yeah, if you look at their team, they're definitely not as strong without Mark Andrews. He's a big part of that offensive attack, Lamar's safety blanket, but it's still a good team. But they definitely have taken a hit. They're not the same team they were without Mark Andrews. I agree, but I'm not taking them lightly. Marco says, what do I think about the Rams right now? They're playing good football. That's for sure. They're playing tough. So, it won't be an easy walk in the park game. First to clinch, first to win the division. You got to love it, man. You got to love it. This team is amazing. They just got to stay healthy, knock on wood, and avoid big injuries and keep it rolling, So, fun times, man. Fun times. Again, Deebo Samuel, big-time game. Backpack this team. I feel like he's like vintage Debo, and again you have another guy, Christian McCaffrey. Man, let's talk about this guy. 7 touchdowns on the Arizona Cardinals in 2 games. Like 7 touchdowns in 2 games is crazy. He's the Cardinals killer. He is the Cardinal killer. The killer of the Cardinals. Like, you know how Dre Greenlaw is the Seahawk killer? Christian McCaffrey is truly the Cardinal killer. Like, it's, dude, 4 touchdowns last time. And I said, you know what? Is he going to have another big game? Is he going to have another big game? He did. And it's so crazy. Because this morning, shameless plug here, I said it on my, let me pull it up. This morning on my promo post, right? Christian McCaffrey. I said last time Christian McCaffrey played Arizona, he went off for 4 TDs. I said it feels like he's about to cook again. I tweeted this. I posted it. I said it feels like he's about to cook again. Bro went for 3 touchdowns. So if you, I'm telling you, man, I've been pulling these out of my hat these last couple of weeks, bro. I just had a feeling he was going to go off again, and he did 3 touchdowns. I thought he'd get 2, maybe. I think I said that yesterday. But 3, oh, man. Yeah. Lowe says Debo had multiple touchdowns in 3 straight games. He has 7 touchdowns in 3 games, dude. It's crazy. Oh, man. Gotta love it, man. He's crazy. Laura Cat, what's up? Says, great to see you. How's Arizona treating you? Go Niners. Great to see you, too. Arizona's been it's been fun. They treated me well. You know, all the people, the fans, the tailgate. I mean, I've ran into so many people that have followed my page. So it's like just amazing to see how many people are out there that say, Raj. Like people at the games, they just look at me. They're like, oh, are you RS of 49ers? And some of them just don't want to, like, like they think it's rude to. I'm like, dude, say what, like I tell people, say what's up. I love it. People have been coming up to me, taking pictures, and they're so cool and so hyped up. I met a lot of like younger fans that see my page and they're just happy to see me. Like, I don't know if you guys know Lennox. He's the 49ers super fan. He's the young buck. He's like 9, 10 years old. His family, posts him on social media, and he's super Debo fan. I saw him a couple times, took a picture with him and talked to him, and it's so fun to see, people like the kids like that. And I met Smitty here, fan from the Fantasy Football Show. We hung out. But yeah, it was a good time, man. Arizona was fun. So definitely glad that I went to this trip. So definitely fun. And Ethan says the stadium looked like a home game. I was waiting for the foghorn. You're right, man. Like it was a home game. It was loud. It was a Niner fan base takeover. It truly was a takeover. And yeah, man, it was fun to see that much Niner fans. It definitely felt like it did feel like I was in Levi's, you know. Um, Jimbo says, Lenore, any word? They said it's a rib injury, but no specific updates. Tomorrow, Monday, you know how it goes, guys. Monday, we'll get the updates. And then we're going to post an update. You guys are going to freak out because we got the template on it. That's how it works. But we got no official updates yet. Um, my says Glock Purdy is the key to this offense. He's unlocked it and the potential of this offense and the players around him. Yeah, he really has unlocked this offense. Again, you look at the last couple of years, you see the quarterback situation, and it's been painful. But with Brock Purdy and the way this offense is going, man, it's awesome, dude. It is awesome. What's up, Jimmy? Beast Mode said the system QB talk is a lame take. It was what happened when Sam Darnold stepped in. Sam Darnold stepped in and didn't look good. And guess what? That right there will beat the whole system controversy talk. But, again, it was just a short amount of time for Sam. But still, it doesn't matter. Sam Darnold, it's not Brock Purdy. Everybody was basically crapping their pants when Brock Purdy went down. And that tells you what you need to know. If Brock Purdy goes down, if he got hurt, this fan base was acting, scared because Brock Purdy's the guy. He is the guy. He is the system. I just hate the people that are hating on him. Like, why are you hating on Brock Purdy? The guy is an incredible story. He was the last pick in the draft. No Mr. Irrelevant is ever relevant. Like, no last pick in the draft is ever that good enough to where they're like, oh, look, this guy's great. It doesn't happen in a normal basis. So nice to see the story unfold. And the world works in mysterious ways. Life is weird. Like, why were the 49ers the team that Brock Purdy went to, and this incredible story is playing it? Like, it's just, if you look into things, this is getting deep, right? If you look into things and look into like how life works, like the 49ers were selected out of every team to get Brock Purdy, this unbelievable story, and now the story's unfolding. This could be one of the greatest football stories of all time, one of the greatest sports stories, and it just so happens it's for the 49ers. Like, we're lucky to be watching Brock Purdy. This man has been amazing, incredible. Last pick in the draft, third round, or he was the third QB. Before third QB, he was, a guy that was fighting to make the team in training camp last year, and people were like, he's not going to make the roster. You got, Nate Sudfeld making $2 million. They're not going to cut him. They fucking cut Nate Sudfeld. You keep Brock Purdy on the roster. The first the two quarterbacks ahead of him both break their leg, and Brock Purdy takes over as starter. And the rest is history. Like, that story is crazy. They can make a movie out of this. It's a movie. It's a Oscar-winning movie, the Brock Purdy story. I love it. And it's, out of all teams, the team that we love, the 49ers, we are blessed. We are so great to have the Brock Purdy story unfolding for our franchise. I love it. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh, man, he definitely never looked back, Beast Mode. Like, the story is just, it's awesome, man. He did overthrow CMC, but Christian made a great play. Christian made a great play, man. Great play on the ball. Where's the guy that used to come on IG that always played Madden? Oh, let's learn. Yeah, we talk. We always hang out. He's just busy. It's a little late. Can't expect everybody to hop on at a later time, but I felt like coming on the live and talk to you guys before I get some sleep. Actually got to probably take a shower and then finish packing up. I might just pack up in the morning, but I'm getting tired. It's been a long weekend, but it's been a fun weekend. So, daughter and son's name combined. Oh, that's cool. Pronounce, okay. Like Miguel and Kal-El is Superman's name on crypto. That's dope. Dak lovers are quiet. Dak lovers are very quiet. The movie is going to be called Irrelevant. I love it. It's going to be called Mr. Relevant. Big Time says the playoffs is what matters. All this regular season talk doesn't mean anything until it gets real. But yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, though, the 49ers have to play good in the regular season to set themselves up for a stretch run in the playoffs. Because if the 49ers can get the number one seed, if the NFL playoffs, the NFC playoffs run through Levi's, a lot different than being on the road, having to play 3 games. That number one seed is clutch because they get a whole week off. So it does matter. But you're right. I know what you're saying. Like, all this won't matter if they lose in the playoffs. I get that. So 100%. But they got to get the better they play, the better their chances are in the playoffs, because then you got home field and all those things. You don't have to travel. It's nice if you don't have to travel. So Flood says, you think Brock's arm has gotten stronger? Absolutely. You see, he's throwing deep passes. He's pushing the ball down the field. He's throwing dimes, man, on a weekly basis. And they're taking deep shots at a higher rate than they ever have, and it started out slow gradually, but over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they're taking a lot more deep shots, like deep shots, like he does throw the ball past the first down sticks, but he's throwing the ball a lot more. And he even said, I feel like my arm's gotten stronger. So Miles says, do you think Brock is winning the MVP? I hope he does. But if he doesn't, and it's, comes down to the wire, I feel like I won't be surprised, because the media is painting him as this system game manager, and that's how the media is going to vote. And, he hasn't done enough years to earn it, and then it's going to come down to, he has to continue to prove himself, the body of work. I think he deserves it. I think he should be. I think he's the number one quarterback. We talked about all the stats earlier. Like, I could go through them again, but it's beating, you don't want to beat a dead horse. He leads the NFL in pretty much every statistical category that matters for quarterbacks. He's elevated this offense. They're scoring so many points. He's not really turning the ball over. He's went toe-to-toe with Dak Prescott, went toe-to-toe with Jalen Hurts, If he goes toe-to-toe with Lamar Jackson and the 49ers win, let's give him the MVP. There's no reason not to. He's setting records for the 49ers. He's playing amazing. So definitely. So we'll take one more question, then we're gonna bounce out. It's getting late. Oh man, I'm tired. I don't know how I'm holding up. Woke up early these last couple of days, man, but it was definitely worth it. Arizona was fun. My man Ethan says, if we clinch the number 1 seed early, I hope we don't rest all our starters. Many teams get bounced early. You know, that's a tough decision to make because you don't want them to get hurt, but at the same time, you don't want them to lose their mojo. You don't want them to lose. They can get rusty because if let's say you rest, I don't know, week 16 or week 17, then you have to bye. That's a couple of weeks to rest. You get 2 whole weeks, So then by the time your game comes, you haven't played in a long time, so you are a little rusty. That's a great point. That's absolutely a great point. So, Dak, the definition of game manager. When CD ain't getting targets, he's trying. Dak Prescott he's a joke, man. He's a joke. The 8 QBs drafted before Purdy 8. Pickett, Ritter, Willis, Corral, Zappi, Howell, Ola, Dokum, and Thompson. Wow. That's a crazy list. Look at that list. Look at all those guys drafted ahead of Brock Purdy. Ola Dokum, I don't even know who that is. I swear to God, I don't know who that is. That is a crazy list of quarterbacks. Pick it up. Wow, that's crazy. All those guys were drafted ahead of Brock. They thought those guys were going to be able. 96 Collector says, it's Victory Monday in about an hour. Absolutely. I got to post the Homer Simpson meme tonight, the Grandpa Simpson. I can't go to bed without posting that. So, oh, man. But, Victory Monday on the come up. It's Victory Sunday right now. Great day, great win. Again, the one criticism I'll say is the 49ers need to clean up that run defense. They're not going to be able to win against the Baltimore Ravens if their run defense is like that. Shout out to Mooney Ward, man. He's just playing out of his mind, and it was good to see. Brock Purdy, MVP. If you don't think he's MVP, you don't know ball. That's a bar of the week. I'm going to use that a lot. Debo, man, doing Debo things. Vintage Debo. Offensive line, tremendous. Christian McCaffrey, absolutely spectacular. You know what, though, before we leave, Jordan Mason, man, this is a guy people need to respect. Jordan Mason. I've said it all year. Give Jordan Mason some carries. Give him some reps and take some pressure off of CMC. And I said by the end of the season, he will be running back too because Elijah Mitchell's injuries. And sure enough, it seems like Jordan Mason might be taking that role. I mean, I don't know when Mitchell's going to come back healthy, but honestly, if he comes back, is he ever going to be healthy? I don't know. Jordan Mason to the moon. Kyle Shanahan, please keep giving the ball to Jordan Mason. The guy's a runner. Love that guy. But on that note, you guys have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you. Victory Monday tomorrow. I'll be live here and there tomorrow. I'm going to be in the airport, so maybe I'll come live from the airport. Who knows? We'll see. Beast Mode says, how is Mitchell always injured, but he barely played? I don't know, man. I like Mitchell, but that boy is injury prone. If you look up injury prone in the dictionary, you will see a picture of Elijah Mitchell's face and Malcolm Butler. and freaking D Ford. Oh, God. Oh, man. Anyways, you guys have a good rest of your night. I love you. Bang, bang. Not again. Appreciate you, Greedy Greg. Appreciate everybody that I met today. Thank you to all the fans that support this page, the Twitter, the X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, all the social medias, man. You guys are the best. Have a good night. I love you. Peace.